There once was a man whose life started behind the scenes, behind the smooth hum of broadcast consoles, the click of a sports microphone, and the bright lights of radio booths in Canada. He wasn't chasing UFOs or cryptids. No, he was chasing the next big sports scoop. Locker room chatter, stats, and scores. He graduated top of his class in broadcast communications. For nearly 10 years, he chased signals, not specters. He covered games, analyzed plays, and earned his stripes in the newsroom. But deep inside, something else was stirring, something beyond the audible and measurable. In December 2011, his world tilted. A quiet moment at his mother's side, her eyes filled with an intensity he couldn't explain. Angel of death, he later called it. A brush with the uncanny, channeling energies, premonitions unfolding like déjà vu, and a night in the woods that changed him forever. He saw Bigfoot, or something like it, standing under the stars less than 100 feet away. Then the skies opened, multiple UFO sightings, then personal encounters. 5 alien species, one he nicknamed Carl. Now, if this were a sports feature, he'd call it a turning point, and he'd be right. He walked away from sports journalism. He walked away from safe conclusions. He walked into the unknown. It was November of 2014 when he flipped a switch on a new mission, Spaced Out Radio. 7 nights a week, live on YouTube, the show dove into things that go bump, fly above and whisper beyond the veil. From ghosts to cryptids, shapeshifters to government whistleblowers, he brought the guests and the listeners with him. There were researchers, authors, scientists, and yes, experiencers, people much like him who'd peeked behind the cosmic curtain and seen more than they expected. He didn't bulldoze beliefs, he coaxed out stories. He listened and asked and gave his audience space to draw their own conclusions. His voice, familiar and welcoming, professional but warm, the voice of someone you'd trust to guide you through the dark, to ask the questions you were too afraid to speak. He didn't shout, he didn't preach, he simply asked. And people listened. Night after night, thousands tuned in, thousands leaned in. And it staggered him just how many were tuning in. But he kept going, crossing borders from British Columbia to the world via the internet. The tagline hit hard: "We own the night." In more than 2,400 episodes, he's explored because he's experienced. He's asked because he's wondered. He's believed because he's seen. Bigfoot, Dogman, ghosts. People labeled him a believer. Some called him courageous. Others called him a provocateur. But he kept broadcasting. After all, he'd made space not just to inform, but to wonder, to question, to explore. If governments admit there are mysteries above our skies, his listeners were already 2 steps ahead, thanks to him. If skeptics scoff, he's already asked the next question. He still goes live, night after night, because for him this wasn't a departure from journalism. It was a return to its roots, curiosity, honesty, and the courage to chase the unexplained. So you've heard his backstory. You've heard how the personal became the professional, how sports broadcasts led to UFO clouds and forest encounters. You've heard about channeling, about Bigfoot, about faces in alien fabrics. And now, you know the beginning of the story. His name is Dave Scott. Good day.